Good morning. This is the S.F.Agency here today with another video just for you. Today we'll be launching this rocket based on the real N1, nicknamed the N4, to the moon and back. Without any further stalling, let's get this thing off the ground. Quite loud, my apologies. As you can see, we're going up quite fast. The first stage is just so the craft can actually get to orbit, above most of the atmosphere, so that the other smaller engines can take over and do the precise work. The first stage, and to an extent the second stage, are just big dumb boosters really. We have first stage separation. We are now on our second stage. Now we're on a suborbital trajectory. If we take a look at our map, we've got an apoapsis of about 33 kilometers, which we're just going to time warp closer to. And then continue our burn. We're keeping our apoapsis close to, but in front of our craft. And we've now gotten to our third and final stage. We're now on low Earth orbit. And our next job will be to time warp to the transfer window. We orient our craft program. Wait a bit more. And then begin the burn. Just going to get a close approach. You can see one of our previous landers from one of our tutorial episodes. Now we just time warp to our periapsis after making the necessary orientation. Before we do that, a little after our lunar injection burn, we're just going to get these two craft stocked. A little bit of orientation on the other side. And we have docking. Now, we point retrograde and wait for the encounter. One of these fragments is actually on course to hit the moon. Let's watch that hit the surface. You can see this has a bit of a bounce to it. But now we have to switch back to our crewed craft. Keep pointing retrograde. And eventually wrong engine. Okay, so we settled that minor discrepancy. And a small orbital correction. Well, not orbital correction. A bigger retrograde burn. That's what it is. And we're now in a stable lunar orbit. Sorry for the short break. We're now going to, because it has enough fuel, undock the lunar craft. Wait a little while for its direction to separate away from the crewed module. Check where we're going to be landing. We want to land on the Sea of Serenity, so let's time warp a little before we get to there. And you'll notice that we're overshooting the Sea of Serenity. This is actually because you'll need to slow down more to land on it. And that's how we get our direct flyover. Well, landing. That's how we get a direct landing on the Sea of Serenity. Now I continue my burn. You can see the lunar surface approaching our craft. And the moon itself. Just trying to negate out my horizontal velocity right now. We're now making our final approach to the lunar surface. Godspeed to our cosmonaut. Remember what you can do. There's always reversing 30 seconds. It takes a while due to the modifications I have on my device. Just make sure that your velocity is below 10 meters a second when you make contact with the lunar surface, or any surface for that matter, or else your landing legs will spontaneously explode. They can only take so much of beating. But look at that! We've got landing on the moon! Pretend there's a few extravehicular activities. Some samples get taken, and before you know it, which is about 2 days later, they're ready to return home. So that means they have to leave the lunar surface, get into orbit, dock with the command service module, and get back to Earth. Fun fact, the lunar module actually is very over-engineered. It works well enough to be used for Mars as well, and I actually used it for that once. I did a full Mars return mission in just one launch. I'm still proud of that one. And we have an orbit. The next part of the mission is to get a transfer to our service module. And we now approach our rendezvous. Due to the small distances involved, we don't actually need to slow down that much or use too much of our delta V. If you think we're going a bit fast, then we've just slowed down. Go to the command service module. Have the command service module face the Lunar module. And 1, 2, 3. Hey presto, a Lunar docking. Actually done really well. Had we been a bit slower with that, we would have actually docked immediately. Takes a bit to get the proper conditions required for docking. But, before you know it, it's done. Get the crew off the module. Pour some fuel over. And when all's said and done, subject the crew to really high G-forces and throw the Lunar module off. Yes, I'm saying throw. Because it is not coming back. Now for what's probably going to be the final part of this mission, organising a proper return. This is a good position because we're prograde to the moon's orbit, or orbit around the moon, but retrograde to the moon's orbit around the Earth. Wait, no, wrong way around. Need to go retrograde here, and wait until we're prograde here. Then we activate our engines, which we only have one of apparently. Turn the others on, please. Yeah, but as you can see, this is very, very over. This is very overdoing it. Dare I say, somewhat performative. A bit more of a burn because I want to land on land, preferably nearby Russia, because that's my inspiration for this craft, the Soyuz. Now, we're approaching very fast. while it's perfectly safe, I just feel like we could slow down slightly. Burn off a little extra. The Delta V. Port fuel from the command pod over to the service module. We seem to be doing quite well. As we approach as we enter the atmosphere, let the service module burn up. And the atmosphere does the rest of the slowing down for us. The parachute to the correct staging, meaning that the rest of the ride is just very smooth sailing. Deploy the parachutes. And just safely drift to Earth. Anyway, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas on what I could do next, but feel free to comment. Do I hit the... Oh. I think something crashed. Not the game, but something in the spacecraft. Probably an RCS thruster or something. Yeah, that's about it. So, hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment if you have any ideas. The old reliable, yada yada. Everyone does it. And have a good one. Peace.